So I'm going to talk a little bit about this pilot case that we did. So we prepared this entirely self-learning course out of the material that Eija already described there. So we started this CSC's own e-learning platform development a couple of years ago, nicely right before the COVID hit us. So it's this Moodle-based platform. And this course that we developed there was one of the first ones, and thus it's kind of a pilot for the platform as well. The course is free, and we opened it in fall 2020. So it's been there now roughly, a little bit longer than a year. And participants really work on their own pace, so we don't really restrict their how they approach the topic, or whether they complete it in 1 week or 6 months or anything between. Unfortunately, we don't have any very exact numbers how many have passed this course due to some reporting issues in the platform, but we estimate that like roughly 30 to 40 participants have participated, and around 75% has completed all the tasks given in the course. The feedback has been really very positive. You saw this. Eija skipped a slide, but one of the comments was from this course, and shortly they are saying that it's very, very nice. The overall grades are there. Basically what we have there is the lecture videos, which you can see in YouTube as well. We give these longer lecture videos as a bonus, and I want to thank Paolo and Ahmed for these wonderful videos from the previous Elixir course from 2019. The exercises are done with Chipster, and so this part is kind of similar to like actual online course happening like live. But besides that, we give these quizzes, which they can use to test their learning. There are a couple of these forum questions in intention of making it more interactive and activate them a little bit. And then something that we don't have in the live course is this final report, where we ask them to analyze their own data or some data that they dig from web or happen to have otherwise. It's not quite as massive project as described by by Paolo earlier. That sounded very interesting. I'm definitely going to take a look into that. But it's nonetheless, they are required to do something on their own with their own data, and we give little feedback for the report when they return it. Just some print screens of the quizzes. So the idea is to make it a little bit game-like. So it's nicer to complete. So there are very basic Moodle functions. If you're familiar with Moodle, you probably know about this. So there's this basic true and false questions. You can fill in some words, multiple choice questions, and then this where you drag and drop claims on top of this image, and then there's this completion progress bar, which hopefully motivates them to get all the boxes green while they're working. So really basic Moodle stuff, but our first attempt to make them a bit more active. Well, what does this require? How long did it take? Well, we were kind of in a lucky situation since we had already the videos and exercises and all that almost ready, and Chipster really works nicely for this, since there's, like Eija described, no installation issues and so forth. And we also have the support system, so the ticketing system ready. We did need to learn how to use the e-learning platform, which was not that straightforward, to be honest. So that was a little bit struggle in the beginning. Some amount of rethinking was required, because now when you're not there to explain what needs to be done, and you're not seeing if they get lost on the way, you need to really think the structure. And another thing that you want to focus on is the interactivity. And some some follow-up, and how do you do it when you don't see or hear about them necessarily. And nowadays we also have to think about the accessibility, so that was a big task. It does require some, so it's not something that you just create and leave it on the internet. So it does require some interaction and some sort of on-call duty, which is not really that problematic for us, since we anyway have the Chipster support system that we need to take care of. But this, if we want more interaction, then this of course requires more attention from us. And then of course some advertising. So this was something that we discovered, that if you just make a course and don't tell anyone, some people will find it, but not that many. So we haven't been too active on advertising, really, I would say. Ideally, we would maybe have these like advertising campaigns or maybe these Kickstarter webinars and Q&A sessions to accompany this. Yeah, I think the Eija covered this in the welcome speech already. So why did we do this? Well, we were already pretty close. COVID-19 happened. You can see the Finnish or the map of Finland here, and you can see that since we are in Helsinki and all the other universities are far away, we really needed this sort of geographical equality and to support also the international participants. Yeah, this also supports the flipped classroom idea and online learning also otherwise. And like Eija said, we are very limited on human resources. So it's me and Eija doing all the training and support. And our company has this scaling up as a strategic target. And also there are really different learners. So not everyone learns like on a classroom, and they researchers have very busy schedules, and we've heard many times in the feedback that they have difficult time staying the full day in the classroom because of, for example, some lab work and so forth. I try to be quick, but here are some strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So good things, of course, scheduling for us and for them. They can do it on their own pace, and we can do it on our own pace to an extent, of course. We can put more content and this working with your own data option there, because it's spread over longer time. Gamification is rather easy actually with these Moodle tools once you learn how to use them. And of course, there's no time zone or traveling issues included. Weaknesses, of course, are then, well, there's no personal contact. I'm not directly talking to anyone. Getting them to be interactive is trickier, and we cannot give this over-the-shoulder support, which is already difficult in online teaching, but now that it's not happening like simultaneously, it's a little bit difficult. Opportunities, this offers a possibility for higher throughput. So since it's something that we can work like a couple hours a week instead of having like full course days, it's possible that much more people go through the courses. It also offers possibility for constant development of the course, since we get the feedback not only like after each course like round, but like all the time. And we also get input for the Chipster development more constantly that way, possibly. Well, threats, we need to remember to update it. So it's another thing to update. And we really want it to be so that it's not like outdated information there. Then if we get a burst of participants, there might be this uneven need for resources. So that's something that could happen. Haven't been a problem so far. Last slide that I have is some ideas and lessons learned so far. Well, one thing is the advertising. We need to tell people about it if we want to keep using it. We need to figure out how to gather data better. Now we have this obligatory feedback form, so that's one way to get some feedback. then there's always need for more interactivity. So we've been adding this Padlet wall there, and we are thinking of requiring them to put something on the wall and so forth. We have been thinking about organizing these Kickstarter webinar sessions and Q&A sessions or problem-solving sessions to make it like a little bit more interactive, and that you know that you have something in your calendar in the future, so you maybe are more motivated to get your tasks or quizzes done before that, and thus maybe like launching the course twice a year or something like that might be one solution for this. As a last note, this course is also available, and it can be accessed with the Elixir AI. And I can copy the address to the chat, so you can go and check. And we are really happy to collaborate. We have been collaborating. We are super happy about the great videos from Paolo and Ahmed and others. So they really provide much needed extra information for the participants.